Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video today I want to um, address something that I saw yesterday. I actually saw it last night around 9 p.m. last night on YouTube, and actually saw it on this popular blogger that I admire so much, Summer Ako. I saw it on her video, and then she made mention of other where she got it from, so I decided to go and dig more into that particular story. And then this particular story that I'm talking about has to do with there's a long audio to it, which I don't really want to play because it's quite long, and usually I don't like to make my videos very long. You can always go and check it out. And it's about this young man, even though in that video he did not really mention his name, but this young man that was working as a teacher in school that is owned by Paul Enenche, managed by Paul Enenche's wife. That is Mrs. Rebecca Enenche, or Dr. Rebecca Enenche, whatever she calls herself. Anyway, so it happens to be that in that video, that young man, it was an audio actually. He narrated his ordeal, what he's going through at this point in time with that school. Apparently, it happens that he was accused of sexually molesting children, doing some students, and then according to him, it was an accusation that he's trying so hard to for his name to be cleared of that particular accusation. So in that video, or rather in that audio, he narrated exactly how the whole thing happened, how the owners of the school, that's Paul Enenche and the wife, were more or less trying to intimidate him. They were trying to cover up the truth. They didn't want to do anything. And he himself, in that audio, was the one who actually reported himself to the police. And then a lot happened in the process, that there were threats, there were insults laid at him, there were intimidations and everything, that at some point the lights in his apartment was cut off, water was cut off, because he, according to him, he is still living in the premises of the property of the school or the church, so to say. Anyway, fast forward, in that same audio, he narrated his story, and then he also recorded an audio of when he eventually had a meeting with Paul Enenche's wife and someone I supposed to be Paul Enenche's wife's lawyer, somebody, I don't know who that third person in that video and that audio was. He actually recorded a conversation, a meeting that he had with these people. And I want to address some things that I heard in that audio as it concerns Paul Enenche's wife, and some of the things that I see that is so appalling in what most of our men and women of God do in these days, especially from the part of the world that we come from. I honestly say that it seems like the fear of God and the respect and honor for God have really flown through the window when it comes to this, our men of God. It's at those points of time, it's all about them and the power they think they have immersed and everything that they think they have that makes them good. The arrogance and the pride that these people demonstrate is so appalling to me. Being a Christian who believes in God, who believes in the reverence and honor of God, I feel that a lot of, or most of this, our men of God, don't have respect and honor for God anymore in their dealings, especially when they think that they think that they are up there and everyone else is down here. They feel they can do anything. So anyways, first of all, I want to establish something here. I mean, maybe time will tell, but listening to that young man's audios, I want to believe that he is innocent of the accusation that is leveled against him. Because if he's not, I don't say this is why he should be the one that is pushing for these things to go to this farm and take it to the police, do it, because at some point he said that he was telling these people that if you people think that I'm guilty, report me to the police. Let the police do something. Take it up to the authorities, which Paul Enenche and the wife, especially the wife, from the person I heard her voice in the audio, is not willing to do. Now I want to address some things that I heard in that audio that was recorded, that was played. One of the things I heard there, because in that audio, Paul Enenche's wife was more or less giving this guy a deal in her office, whatever it was they were having that meeting. They were trying to cut a deal with this guy. All that this guy was asking for in that audio is that his name be cleared out, because at this point there is a tag on him as a child molester. There's a tag on him as somebody who was doing something inappropriate with children, and that is something he wants his name to be cleared of. That is what he's asking for. But then, instead of doing that, Paul Enenche's wife is now cutting a deal with him, telling him, you know what, we don't want to go to the authorities, we don't want to take this thing further, but we will just want you to put a resignation letter, resign, leave, so that we'll be able to recommend you where else you go, or anywhere else you go to. And then in that audio also, Paul Enenche's wife was saying in that audio that there are CCTVs that caught the guy in the act, so to say. You know, so trying to tell this guy, look, we have evidence that you actually did this thing, but we're not going to pursue it. We're not going to do anything. We just want you to resign honorably so that you can get your benefit, so that wherever else you go, they call us and we can give you a recommendation. And I ask myself, if truly you believe that, because a person that did what this guy is accused of doing is supposed to be somebody that is not supposed to stay around children, right? And if you truly believe that this guy did what he said, they said he did, based on the evidence that they say they have against him, especially the CCTV, which of course pictures don't lie, then why would you want him to go to somewhere else to be also around children, where he could do the same thing to these children in your school? Why would you want him to go somewhere else? Why wouldn't you want him to be stopped in his act, so to say? Why wouldn't you want him to be stopped? And then another thing I asked myself, you say you have a CCTV, you have a video recording of whatever that happened. Why don't you present it as an evidence? From what I hear in that audio, that young man, when they went to the place or wherever they went to, when he himself reported himself to the authorities, they looked into the case and they realized, and according to him, said the girl in question, whom they were accusing him of doing whatever with, the girl said that there's nothing like that, that this man didn't do nothing to him. And this man wanted to follow this thing up because he is fighting so hard for his name to be cleared from this accusation. And now, the same people that are supposed to be protecting children that are in their school are the same people that are trying to cut corners with somebody who did this kind of a thing. I don't know if you're getting the point. So you are a proprietress, an owner of a school, and one of your teachers did what you are accusing this man of doing, and that is doing what is not appropriate with young children in your school. Your duty, your first duty, is to protect these children by making sure that that man pays for what he did, and by making sure that he doesn't go out there to do the same thing to other children. Yet, Becky Enenche, you are the same person that is willing to send this man out there and give him a clear recommendation, good recommendation, to go and work with other children. The whole thing does not make sense to me. It does not add up to me as far as I'm concerned. When I was listening to it, it did not add up to me. And then there's another thing that troubled me in the way Becky Enenche was talking. When you listen to her voice from that audio, first of all, she sounded very vindictive. She is a very vindictive woman, you know. She is trying to victimize this guy by every means. She was trying to, from her voice, she is actually trying to intimidate this guy. And from the things that the guy narrated, it was not just her, because he had also had an encounter with Paul Enenche himself, and even his wife had an encounter with Paul Enenche, where the guy said that Paul Enenche was calling the wife names, the kind of words that you do not expect somebody who calls himself a man of God should be using on a fellow human being. Calling somebody useless, calling somebody worthless, and whatever name the guy said the man was using on the wife, you know. And you ask yourself, what is going on with these people, that these our so-called mega men of God, that they open their mouth and they think they can talk anyhow, they think they can do anyhow, they think they can act anyhow, because they feel that they have the power and the authority to do whatever and get away with it, right? Okay, so having said that, this guy, from the things I heard in the voice of Becky Enenche, you know, she was very, very manipulative. She was trying to manipulate this guy. She was trying to intimidate this guy. She is trying so hard to shut down this man And above all, she played one game that I despise so much that many men of God, many so-called believers, church people play, and that is emotional blackmail. If you listen to her speech, towards the end of the speech, she was telling this guy, oh, you are somebody, you look like you have a lot of bitterness in you. You have to work on that for your own well-being and for the sake of eternity. That is emotional blackmail. At that point, and another thing that really disgusted me when she was talking is the way she was having this devilish, this sarcastic kind of laughter that was just coming out from, that the sound was just, and she began to like point to the guy of all the people that have tried to do something wrong to them, and every at that point they were exposed and everything, trying to make it look like, look. And then she said something else that really struck me when she was telling this guy, look, it's like telling him, don't even bother to make any move to go to the courts. Don't even bother, because even when you go, you will get nothing. You will get nothing. It's like, this is pure intimidation. This is pure, how do I put it? It's pure intimidation. Telling this guy, I know your lawyer must be telling you when you go to court, you're going to get this. Let me tell you something. The church is a different different entity from the school. The school has no money, so don't even. It's like telling the guy, don't even bother, because if you go that route, you're going to fail. It's like, first of all, trying to put this fear and this intimidation before this guy, and above all, playing this emotional blackmail on him, telling him that you have to work on yourself for your sake of your eternity. And I asked myself, Mrs. Becky Enenche and the husband, so as far as you guys are concerned, you think you're doing everything that have already earned you a place in eternity, and everyone else are the people that need to work on themselves for the sake of their eternity. And you don't think if actually that what earns us a place in eternity is the things we do, the things we say, and how we act towards people. Do you really think that you earn a place in eternity? You really think that you already got it, and this man is the person who needs to work on himself with everything that you and your husband already did to this guy, said to him, acted? And I keep asking myself, why was she bent on making this guy put a resignation? And you put your resignation, we give you all your benefits, we can give you, make you help you move into a house, making him all these fantastic offers. If you know truly well that you actually have a case against him, my point is this: as the proprietress of that school, as the owner of that school, you owe it a right to those children to protect them. If my child is a child that was, in that situation, that a teacher did something to that child, and I realized that you, as the owner of that school, is trying to protect that particular, because it sounds to me that indirectly that's what you're trying to do, protect that man by giving him a clean slate of, a bill of health. Okay, we are good, just resign honorably, go, we give you your benefits, I would not take it lightly with you, because I, as a mother, will want justice for my child. I will want justice for my child. So if you try to cover that person up, that means there is something you are hiding. Right? There's something you're hiding, because I will want justice for my child who has been defiled, and my child who has been, something that is inappropriate has been done to her. I will want a justice for that child. So I'm not exactly sure what the game that Becky Enenche is trying to play with this particular incident, but I honestly believe that there is something that they are hiding. There's something that she is hiding. There is a game they are playing. And like I said before, one thing that stuck out for me was the way she was talking, the way she was, the arrogant, the audacity, the intimidation, the vindictiveness, the twisting of words, and above all, that emotional blackmail. It is so appalling to me. Like, it gets on my skin when I see people who play that, men of God and women of God who play that emotional blackmail on people. They always use that, oh, you may not make heaven, to intimidate people. And this is the same tactic tactics they use to coerce people, to give them everything that they own, bring their cars, bring their houses, bring everything, become fools in the name of following them. This is the same tactic, because they always use that thing to brainwash people, to put people in that vulnerable position, in that position where they don't think anymore. And you ask yourself, is this really what the message of the gospel of Christ is? As a believer, it's appalling to me. And honestly speaking, at this point, I just want to say, for as many people that knows how to help this young man to get the justice that he's asking for, all that this man is asking for is for somebody to say the truth, to exonerate him, to clear his name. Even if he resigns honorably and goes out to another school, the point remains that no matter the benefit that this man is giving, that tag is already on him, that this is something that he, as long as that thing is not cleared, the same way they made it public, the same way they had to make it public also, that it was not true, that this guy did what he did. They need to go to the length of creating justice for this man. The guy said that all he wanted is for his name to be cleared. Clear my name from this accusation. That's all he's asking for. And you're telling him, no, we don't want to go that route with you. We just want to give you your benefits. Just resign honorably and go. But if you don't do it, you will lose. Are you serious, Becky Enenche? What is wrong with you people that claim to be men and women of God? What is wrong with you? Like, it is so appalling. Like, if as a Christian, as a believer, that when I see people that were supposed to hold in high esteem, people who were supposed to emulate, who are supposed to be role models, doing all these kind of shady deals in the background. Unfortunately for her, she didn't know that that guy was smart enough to have recorded every nonsense that she was saying, recorded everything with the sarcastic laughter. She was kept laughing, and intimidation. Oh, let me tell you, if you go that route, you're not going to get anything. I know your lawyer must be telling you. Who told you that? Except that guy refuses to pursue that thing. Trust me, if that guy decides to go, if it's unfortunate that it's happening in a country where there is no justice, because the likes of Paul Enenche, they feel like they have the money, they have all the high and mighty at their beck and call. They can do whatever they do towards justice, divert justice, and it doesn't happen. Probably that is what this woman is bragging at. But honestly speaking, it was so appalling when I listened to that woman's voice. It is so disgusting. It is so annoying that things like this will be happening. I wish that guy gets the justice that he's asking for. I wish people would just rally around him and help him to get the justice that he wants, because that is all he wants. And people like Paul Enenche and Becky need to be stopped in this kind of shady deals that they are doing in the name of Christianity. It is so appalling. That is just how I feel. I saw the video and I feel like I need to just air my view on it. This is all what I have to say this morning. Whatever is your thought, you can leave it at the comment section. With this, I'll say thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.